Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today my rabbit chewed through my headphones. So I'm hoping that we don't have technical difficulties because of that. Elle, welcome to class.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well this morning. It's early for me, but I've always been an early riser.
Yes, me
What's your
too.
sleep schedule usually like, Elle?
But I usually I am a bird, early bird,
You're
early
a what?
bird,
Early
uh,
bird?
early bird. I wake up like 5 o'clock every day. But I go to bed so early, like eight o'clock, and then I try to do my thing, and then everything should be finished before 9 o'clock. I try to take class at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like this every day as possible.
Awesome. Sounds like you have a productive day too.
Yeah, I try. I want to speak English well. Not. I just want to improve my speaking as much as possible.
Awesome. Well, this is the right class. We'll be doing tons of speaking today.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Can I pronounce your name?
Michaela.
Michaela. What is this name come from? Sorry to ask.
I've heard lots of different origins. I know it's part of different cultures, but my family history is mostly Italian, so
Oh,
maybe that's where my parents got it from.
cool. Pretty name.
Thanks, Elle.
You're welcome.
And Salwa, welcome to class.
Welcome, Michaela.
Good to have you with us. Salwa, tell us about your normal sleep schedule. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Now it's 3 p.m.
And is
Yeah.
that usually the time you take class?
What?
Do you usually take class at that time?
Yeah, your class important for me because I booked my IELTS exam. I'm preparing for it, but I'm struggling with the speaking part.
All right. Well, we'll go over a technique and do some exercises, so hopefully you'll get some good practice in today. Glad you're here with us.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Adela, welcome to class.
Hello, Michaela.
Hi, Adela. Tell us about your sleep schedule. Are you an early riser?
I finish my lunch in a minute. It's a good schedule for me. It's the afternoon. I'm at time. And about the speaking, I need to improve my speaking skills because I have an exam in 1 month.
What kind of exam?
In Spain is B2. I think it's same to the first or same. I don't know exactly what is the translation to the others
Is
kinds
there going to
of
be a speaking
exams.
part?
It's a monologue and a dialogue. I need
Wow.
to do, but I think it's not so hard. I hope.
I'm sure you'll be fine. You've been studying a long time here.
Okay.
Thanks, Adela.
Thank you.
Carolina, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher. Good morning for me.
Morning. So tell us, what's your sleep schedule like? Are you an early bird or a night owl?
No, teacher, I am night owl. So for me, now it's too early, but I am in your class.
Too early, huh? Wait, 10
Yeah.
o'clock for you?
No, 8 a.m.
Oh, 8. I thought, Catalina, where are you right now?
In Colombia. I am from Colombia.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so 8 a.m. is pretty early to do class. Good
Yeah.
to have you with us. Glad you decided to take it anyways.
Thank you.
And Victor, welcome to class.
Hi, how's everything going?
Everything is going really well. For me, it's actually 6 a.m. and I decided to start the day off with a few classes. And I think that's always a good way to start the day off because it's energetic. So it's like it starts my day strong, you know? What are you doing today, Victor?
Today I going to work, but in this moment today I will work in my house so I can take some classes of English.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yes.
Well, we're glad you decided to do so. Okay, so to start today off, we're gonna do an exercise that they do on a lot of English tests, which is you see a picture and you have to describe it. So this exercise is good for two reasons. The first is that it's kind of a common exercise to find on tests, but the second is that it kind of gets your brain working, and it's an important exercise to help you get used to just going and going. So I'm going to ask you guys to try to speak for between 1 and 2 minutes, but try to get at least 1 minute in. And if you want to go up to 2 minutes, then that's awesome. And while you're looking and while you're trying to describe, try to think about what's happening, why you think it's happening, how you think it's happening, any opinions you have on the matter, any notable things in the picture. So you don't have to just say there's a ball and there's a kid and there's grass. You can say, well, it looks like he's playing a game, but I don't really like games. They're not my favorite thing. And just talk as much as possible. It's a really good warm-up exercise for us to get going today. So I've got a different picture for each of you, and I'm going to I'll start on the other end with Victor. So Victor, would you like to go first?
Yes, there is no
Okay.
problem with it.
I'm going to screen share a picture, and you describe it and talk about it, and spend as long as possible doing that. Ready?
Yes.
There you go. You can have a couple seconds to think, and whenever you're ready, you can start.
Okay, in the picture I can see two boys. The first one is bullying to another one because the last one, the boy with the black t-shirt, made some fall, and the boy with the white t-shirt is saying bad things about the first one. I think they are in a school, or possible they are some kind of relatives. They can be brothers, or they can be classmates. Also, the last boy, the boy with the black t-shirt, is sad because he cannot say anything, and at this moment he is waiting for any adult to stop the situation.
All right. Yeah, he does look pretty vulnerable in this picture.
Yes, there
Very
is a lot
cool.
of
You got a minute.
violence when you are chill. When you are chill, there is a lot of violence between your friends or your brothers in the school, in the house.
Very true. Did that ever happen to you? Did you ever get bullied before?
Yes, I was in the same situation, and sometimes I was the boy with the white t-shirt, and sometimes I was the boy with the black t-shirt.
Okay, so you've been on both sides. You know what it's like.
Yeah, really, I was in the both side. I was sometimes good, and sometimes bad. It's a common. I think always that children are very cruel with another children.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to have perspective. Kids don't know what they're doing until they're an adult, which is why you mentioned an adult should be the one to try and intervene here. All right. Thanks, Victor. You did well. And Salwa, you're up next. Ready to see your picture?
Okay.
All right, here it is. You can think for a few minutes and start talking whenever you're ready.
I can can't see any picture.
You can't?
Yeah.
Elle, can you
Like
see the
you
picture?
are frozen.
Can anybody else see the picture?
No, I cannot see the picture.
Oh no. It's weird because I can see it. I'm
They are
gonna reload
frozen in
really
this
quick.
moment.
Maybe that will help.
Okay, I can see it now.
Awesome. Go for it.
Okay, it's an Indian birthday party. The mother celebrating with her daughter fifth birthday with her friends. A lot of them attended and start putting colored cones on their heads and sing and clap. All of them are ready to eat the cake. The 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 atmosphere was so good, and they all of them enjoy with a party, and the decoration was so amazing. All of them loved to take a picture with each other's. Okay.
Great. You got about a minute of speaking in. You did really well. Does the birthday girl look happy?
What?
Does the birthday girl look happy?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Salwa. You did a great job. And I heard a couple times you switched the pronouns, the male and female pronouns, like his and hers, or he and she. But other than that, you sounded like you really knew what you were talking about. So thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. On to the next one. Elle, it's your turn, and I have a new picture. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Yours is an interesting one. You can take a second to think and start speaking whenever you know what you want to say.
Okay. Okay. In the pictures, I see 3 dogs stay in the cave. So it looks like they want 3 of them. They want to go out of that place. This these dogs they might came from the people who abandoned them from on the street. So I think this organization just keep them into this place, and then 3 of them just waiting someone to pick them up and to take care of them in the good place. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You got about a minute. That's pretty good. Are you a fan of dogs?
I was thinking to have one, but my husband he doesn't like my idea.
He doesn't like dogs? How come?
No, because we travel a lot, and then it's just so difficult for us to take care of
He's right.
take care of them, take care dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Tough to have dogs to really take care of them, but they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks, Elle. Catalina, you're up next. Are you ready?
I am ready to check.
Okay. Got another interesting picture coming up. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
Okay. There is a situation. She she's the owner of that car, and maybe he's a mechanic, or maybe he's her father or something like that. And he is explaining to her about the why is the car damaged. So they try to point out some device, and she maybe is understanding, but maybe not. So she has a face like, oh, I don't know how can I say it. But I think she's trying to understand something. Maybe the damage is expensive, so maybe her face is for that.
All right, could be. You got about a minute in as well. Pretty good. And I think you're right. Yeah, it looks like she's a little like confused maybe or surprised. But it's always bad. I imagine she had car trouble. Do you have a car, Catalina?
Yes, I have a car.
Do you ever have car trouble?
Unfortunately, no. I always try to keep my car in good. How can you say that? In good way, in good form,
Include what?
in good way, in good conditions.
Oh,
So
yeah. Best way to keep out of trouble with your car is to keep it in good condition and well taken care of.
yeah.
All right. Last but not least, Adela, it's finally your turn. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here you go. That's your picture, and whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
This is a normal situation, but normal and strange because they are a disabled person, I think, or same. I don't know because I see the structure near, or maybe it's a bike. Yes, maybe a bike. I think it's a picture that very the picture is very colorful, and we see a lot of people underground. The bus, I think, is a bus or a metro. I don't know exactly, and I think this woman is the focus, the picture on this woman with a sweater, a red sweater, and finally I think she's disabled, but she can take the bus because it's adapted for disabled people. Maybe the man in front of this woman see her a little discrimination view, because maybe people is not expectable about these types of handicaps. Maybe I don't know what. I finished.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
all.
Well done. You've got a little over a minute. I believe yours was the longest that we saw. So that was an excellent exercise. You guys all did great. And it's hard. It's hard to talk for that long. I think you all made a minute, which is great. And if you try this exercise again, which is an easy one to do, you can try and see if you can go for longer and longer, because most tests have an exercise, if not that exercise, an exercise like it, where they'll ask you a question and you're supposed to just talk and talk. And if they say like, oh, what's your family like? And you say, good, then they're not going to get a really good idea of your ability. So being able to speak basically until someone stops you is a good skill to develop.
Okay.
For the rest of class, we're going to be looking at a document that was attached to the class today. And we're going to go over another kind of technique that is specifically for the IELTS, but again, works for lots of other things. It's very adaptable. So you could use this for a normal conversation. You can use it for speaking techniques. You can use it for lots of stuff. And it's called PrEP. So let's read a little bit about this PrEP exercise. Elle, will you go ahead and read the highlighted section for us?
Okay, sure. Use the PREP method. Start with P. Make one sentence about your main point. Then give 2 or 3 sentences to provide R, a reason. Next, give E an example. Describe the example using 2 or 3 sentences. Finish by repeating P, your main point, but use a different sentence. If you have extra time, give a second example.
Thanks. So, this is a great recipe for a conversation. It's even good if you're like writing an essay. This is a familiar form for people who write essays. You have like a thesis and you state some reasons, you give examples. So this is like really a common format, but it helps to think about it when you're speaking to get more time and to kind of organize your thoughts a little bit so that you can work through them methodically. So we're going to try to do that, and we're going to start with the example below. It's written in British English, so some of these little underlined phrases are British English spelling, which is why they're coming up as misspelled. And I also have these questions underneath it to help jog your memory and ideas. So we'll have short prompts like describe your favorite animals, and then you should say what it is, where it lives, what it eats, and explains why you like it. That way you'll get a little more time. And remember to follow this. So give me a main point, a reason or a few reasons, and at least one example, if not 2 examples or more. This time, let's start with Salwa. Will you do the first one for us? Describe your favorite animal.
Okay. Okay, my favorite animal is cats. I love cats because they are quiet and you can spend more time with them at home, and they can stay with you at the same room. The cats can live under any weather, in any places, not restricted to cold or hot weather conditions. So it's more easily to get the cat all the time with you. They eat things from your home. You don't have to bring special eating and cost a lot of money. They can drink milk or eat fish, stuff you usually find in your home. I really like cats because they are cute and they stay close to me, and they express about their love to me because I care about them a lot. I actually had 3 cats in my room.
Wow! So you got 3 cats that live with you, huh? That's a lot.
No, it's fake. I know we don't fake.
Is it a lot of work to take care of?
Yeah, I try to. It's a fake. We don't bring animals in at home. here. It's not a part of our culture.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. Thanks, Salwa.
Thanks.
And let's get Victor in on this one as well. Victor, do your best to answer all the questions and use the prep technique to speak for a long time about your favorite animal. Ready, Victor?
Sorry, I lost the connection for a moment.
Oh.
I end the net? Okay.
What now?
Okay, I understand. My favorite animal is the dog because they are confident. They are also a good company, and there is a different breeds of dogs. So there is a dog for every human in the world, I think. The dogs lived with the people a lot of time ago, so they can understand how the people, the behavior of the people. Also, they can understand how are you, if you are happy, if you are sad. Also, it's important that there is an special food for the dogs, so you don't can bother it with the eat of the dog. You can buy the special food for the dog, so it's really no problem. And there is different, as I said previously, there is different kind of dogs. So if you need a very big dog, for example, a Rottweiler, for to be a guard house, is the best selection, the best choice. Also, if you need a dog for you, for company, you can get an bulldog, an English bulldog. There is a dog that always are near you. She or he don't need a lot of effort, and always they try to go with you. And I think also is another kind of dogs. There is a small dog for small children. There is big dogs for different kind of work in the farms, for example, or for body works. I think the best animal for me is a dog.
Awesome. Very well done. You spoke for a long time. What's your favorite kind of dog, Victor?
All dogs for me are favorite, but I prefer when I was a boy, a teenager, I have a Rottweiler. It really was a formidable dog. People scary with when said he.
Yeah.
But now I live in a apartment, so I have a bulldog English, English bulldog. Sorry, it's a special kind of dog for a small space, and always is near you. Really, I love the dogs.
Yeah, definitely. Dogs are energetic, so better to have a small one if you're in a small place.
Yes, but if you have a big house, you have 2, 3 dogs. They're really nice.
Yeah. All right. So unless anyone else really likes this prompt and is looking forward to responding to it, I think I'm going to move on to a new prompt. Anyone have an opinion here? We'll try a new one. But before we do that, we're going to look over a suggested answer. So this is one possible answer someone could give to the same question. And this is a good answer if you are taking the IELTS or if you wanted to talk knowledgeably for a long time about your favorite animal. And I'll read this one for you guys. I'm going to tell you about my pet cat, Montag. He is practically a member of the family. I've always had cats, and I suppose I'm slightly silly about them. He is just a common or garden cat, a Moggy, not a special breed or anything like that, though his coloring is rather special. He's all white but has a ginger tail and ginger ears, and another patch on his body. He looks as if he might be a pedigree cat, and some people have asked, but as I was saying, he's quite common really. He's an inside cat. I'd love to let him outside and roam, but we live fairly near a road and it just isn't safe. It'd break my heart if anything happened to him. You know, if he was run over. You might laugh at this, but I do sometimes take him outside for a walk on a lead, just as you would with a dog. I don't take him out onto the road, just into the back garden so that he can chew on the grass. That's one of his great loves. What does he eat? Until very recently, he only ate chicken. Our vet diagnosed him as being intolerant of any form of cat food. He was being sick all the time, so I used to cook chicken for him 3 times a day. But I'm pleased to say that he is now back on a regular diet as we found a prescription cat food he can tolerate. You want to know why I love him? It's hard to explain. He's just a member of the family now, and I love him just like I would a person. All right, do you guys have any questions about the vocabulary that was used in this one? We have a lot of funny animal vocabulary here. Some of them are specifically UK English, like a moggy is a term in UK English. In American English, I don't think we actually have a term just for a common cat, unless you're talking about like a stray, which would be a wild cat, a cat that doesn't have an owner. We also have a word for a mutt, which is a mix of breeds. So if you don't have any specific breed of cat, it's just kind of like a cross between a couple kinds, you can call it a mutt. It's a word mostly used for dogs, but could also be used for cats. Any other questions on the vocabulary here? All right, you guys are vocabulary experts. If you do end up with any questions and you didn't get a chance to ask them right now, you're welcome to put them in the chat box or send me a message after class. I've got a couple expressions here that I think are worth knowing. Okay. And of course, if you guys already have this open, you'll be able to see there's some color coding. So there's topic words, making it personal, which is important because if you're going to talk for a long time, you need to relate it to yourself, right? You can't just say, there is this, there is that, it is this, it is that. You got to make it personal and say how you feel, what you think. And then the green are spoken idioms and qualifying words. Okay. And this is just a hint about making it personal. Don't just speak at the examiner, speak to them. What do I mean by this? Take a look at these phrases below. So it's always good to include some phrases like this. If you see what I mean, as I was saying to you before, I'm not sure how I can explain this to you. You might not understand this, but so make sure it's a real conversation. Okay, so we're on to the next prompt. A house or apartment. Talk about a house or apartment you would like to live in. You should say what it would look like, how big it would be, where it would be located, and explain why you'd like to live there. And this one, I think we're going to start with Carolina. Do you think you're ready to use the prep technique and those questions below to talk about a house or apartment that you would like to live in?
Yes, teacher.
Go ahead.
I will tell you about the best apartment for that I would like to live. At this moment, I live in a house here in Bogota. As you know, Bogota doesn't have beach, so the best place for me is a place where the beach is near. So I would like to live in a coast city. I think it would be a small house, because I want to that place would have a lot of garden or patio or something, some space where you can spend time with your family or your friends. This place, it could be located near to the coast. I prefer the Atlantic Ocean because it's more warmer than Pacific Ocean. I would like to live there because I think that the the water and the ocean is a good place for relax and for spend time with your family and kids, and also sunny days is comfortable for me, so that is the place that I would like to live. Finish. Teacher,
Awesome. Thank you
sorry.
very much. That was pretty good. I forgot myself on mute. Very well done. I agree. Living near the ocean is definitely a beautiful thing. If you can afford it.
Yeah. Here in Colombia is affordable, so you can find a lot of beautiful places, isolated sites, and it's not too expensive like in another countries, in other countries.
Excellent. Sounds like paradise.
Yes.
All right, Adele, you're up. Do the same. Use prep and answer these questions to talk about a house or apartment you would like to live in.
Okay. If I need to talk about a house or an apartment, I think my apartment ideal is where I live in this moment. Maybe when maybe I need to change something, but in the structure is my ideal flat or apartment. I live in Valencia, in a city, not in the country, and this is a duplex. It has 2 floors. Is in the attic, and it's very big because they are not a lot of walls. Is very open. That is interesting because it's a sensation about freedom, because I have the terrace, etc. I have in the 7th floor on the attic, I have my work room. Is very comfortable, is very friendly. I like to work here because I have a terrace, but I have to chimney in the winter. I have a fire. Is a very comfortable place for me, and music, etc. Only I think I changed this apartment maybe to be located with more view. For example, have a view of the city and in the beach, but not a lot. I would like more view of the terrace, maybe, but for the rest of the situation, I think is It's a good apartment to live in Valencia. I like it. Finish.
Wow, so you're really optimistic. You like exactly where you are. You wouldn't change very much, just a little bit.
Okay.
Thanks, Adela.
Okay.
All right. And Salwa, did you tell us about cats?
What? Say again?
Did you tell us about cats on the last prompt?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's Elle's turn first, and then I'll get back to you, Salwa. Elle, would you tell us about your house and cats?
Okay. Okay. For me, I would like to live in the house, not big, and surrounding with trees, and have a lot of flowers around the house. And the location should be in the suburb, not crowded. So there are so many reasons I like to live there. First, the size is easy for me to clean to clean, and the electric bills when it's turned to winter or summer, the electric, if you live small house, the electric bills is not increasing a lot because the house is not big. So and the locations, I prefer to live in the suburb because you don't have to deal with to the traffic jam. If you want to go to somewhere, it's just easy to get through. If you live in the big city, it will take you for a long time, and then you have to, if you live in the big city, you have to pay the parking lot or many things. It's gonna cost you a lot. So this reason that make me to live in the small house, and I live in the suburb.
Wow, awesome. So that's not a traditional idea, actually, because you're like, I want a small place and it doesn't need to be in the city center. Pretty cool. You know just what you want. Do you prefer traditional decoration or more modern decorations?
I actually prefer the modern decorations, but I want to mix with my culture style.
So like a twist on modern design with some cultural notes.
Yeah, right.
Very cool. I'd love to see that.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a new student. Anu, welcome to class. Anu, I'm muting you before.
Hello, hi.
Hello. So welcome
How
to
are you?
class. I'm doing really well. We're doing some speaking exercises now, and I muted you before just because, well, we were doing this exercise. It's good to have quiet for the person who's speaking, but sorry to have muted you. And would you like to go next and tell us about a house or apartment that you would like to live in?
Okay, it's my turn now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I would like to live in an apartment because I really love the life of an apartment. It should be located in front of sea view because I really love the view, which is I really love the view of the sea falls and snow and water, um, it should not be so big, and where it from since my childhood I prefer to live in an apartment because love the life of an apartment. There are no such issues of security and car parking in an apartment building, because there are security and car parking spaces are available from the mm, from uh, and apartment is and you can decorate your apartment with colorful flowers, with colorful plants and decoration pieces which you like. That's why I would prefer to live in an apartment.
Awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I got bumped out of class for a second, but I heard most of that response, Anum, that you wanted to live in an apartment with a sea view, and it sounds really nice. And today, Anum, just so you know, we've been working on some speaking techniques that involve learning how to speak for longer periods. So when someone asks you a question, you can respond not just with a simple answer, but with a complex answer. And how about Salwa? Can you give her some tips about what we already talked about today?
Okay, we have to use the BREP technique to extend our speech. We have to say the main point and then give 2 or 3 reasons, then give an example and finish with a conclusion about what we have said, or the main point, but using different words. Also a good practice to use pictures and start to describe it. Training on that will help you a lot, improving your speaking.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And vocabulary is a good point too. We're going to work with vocabulary and synonyms in just a minute. But first, we're going to look at a suggested answer for the question that a few of you guys just responded to. And this time I'm going to ask Victor to start for us and read the highlighted section here of the suggested answer.
Okay. Where would one I like to live? Well, I suppose first of all I prefer to live in a house rather than an apartment. And in many ways my ideal house will be the house where my mother lives. How big it will be and what it will look like is quite a large house. It's a 4-bedroom house, but in another sense it's actually quite a small house in that all the rooms inside are quite small and quite intimate, and in fact it's 2 cottages which have been converted into a larger house.
Thank you very much. Next section of this suggested answer, I'm going to ask Elle to read it for us. Read the highlighted section.
Okay, so when you look at it, it looks quite strange. You see 4 chimneys from the outside and lots of very strange angles. Another part about that house which I love is that it's in the countryside and it's got a great garden with lawns and flower beds and shrubs. Everything. My mother's a professional gardener, in fact, a professional gardener, in fact, and it looks like a pictures postcards because of her efforts. Where it would be ideal for me to live there because it's in the countryside, but not in the middle of nowhere. So when I'm there, I like to get up in the morning, look out of the window, see the horses in the field, and feel that I have escaped the hustles and bustle of the city.
Thank you very much. And there's just a little bit more to go. Let's have Carolina read that last part that's not highlighted yet.
Okay, but as I said, I wouldn't want my dream home to be in the middle of nowhere because I like to commute to the city because I enjoy being around people and it's just easier or more convenient to work in the city. So I need to be living somewhere which was close enough to a city that I could commute.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you guys have any questions on vocabulary from this suggested answer?
Yes, I have a question about shrubs. When you say lands and flower beds and shrubs, what is the meaning and what is the correct pronunciation?
This one here is
Pronunciation about
shrubs. And a
Shrub.
shrub is like a small bush usually. So it's a tiny plant, not a tree, but usually larger than, say, a flowering plant with lots of branches.
Thank you, I got it.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you scroll up?
Scroll up.
Scroll the bar up.
Where do you want to see?
I asked you to scroll the bar up.
But
can I see? Yes.
Way? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Prompt.
Michaela, what is the hustle and bustle means?
So that one is actually pronounced without the L sound. It's hustle, or sorry, not without the S, without the T. So it's hustle and bustle. And that's a phrase describing the busyness of a city, kind of like how everything is a little bit loud and confused. So everything's fast-paced and can be a little bit complex.
In New York, right?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Any other questions? If you guys do think of other questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat box or message me after class. And we've got one more exercise I'd like for us to get to today. There's more exercises on here if you guys want to practice them on your own. But for the rest of class, we're going to talk about synonyms. And someone mentioned this earlier. But when you're speaking, because you have to repeat things, like in the prep method, you make a main point sentence and then you restate your main point later. So it's good to know multiple words to describe the same thing, especially for things like really common adjectives or really common verbs. So an adjective like good, for instance, it kind of gets boring if you say it, cats are good. I love cats because they're so good. It kind of gets boring. So we're going to come up with some synonyms for words that are fairly common. And I'm going to ask you guys to put these in the chat box. It doesn't matter if you put them in the Google or the Verbling chat box. I'll be working on the Verbling chat box, but I can always switch to the Google chat box when necessary. Our first word is small. I want you guys to come up with other words that mean the same thing as small. They're slightly different. Tiny, that's a great one. There's lots of them. I'll come up with a few as well. That's it. it? We don't have any other suggestions from you guys? This is a tougher exercise than I had imagined. Okay, a bit. Sometimes we use it to describe a small amount of something. That's a good one. Anything else you guys can think of before I give you a few answers? All right. While we were thinking, I came up with the minuscule, little, diminutive, petite, dainty. Now those are some options. Not all of them will work in every situation, but they have different situations where they mean the same thing as small. All right. We're going to try again, but this time we're going to do a verb. And we're going to have to go pretty quick with this one because we only have a couple minutes left. The verb is show.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you scroll the bar down so I can read whole the paragraph?
Well, this one's not on our document. I put the words in the chat box.
Okay.
And I can put them in the other chat box as well if you're working on the Google chat box. Okay. Our next one is for show, the verb to show, which we use a lot if we're giving examples. So we could say, oh, this shows the effectiveness of the technique. And we use it a lot. So one that I see in the chat box already is to appear. That's great. View is another good one if we went from the other side and said,
okay.
Is this a good view? Any others you guys can think of? Demonstrate, awesome, perform, yes. This one's easier for you guys, huh? All right. Great job, guys. And hopefully you guys can continue working on this document. If you've got any questions, let me know. Of course, I have another class coming up right now, so I'm going to end this class so I can start the next one. The next one is on movies. We'll be talking about vocabulary, quotes, and even general society ideas.
When it is held, excuse me, when it is held.
What now?
The next class, when it is held.
Well, the next class is coming up starting right now. It's about movies. If you missed this class, you can always watch it in my history of classes. And if not, if you can't or don't want to do that, I'm hoping to have some more classes again very soon.
Thank you.
Any questions before we finish up today?
Okay, bye-bye. Have
Thanks,
a good
guys.
day.
Bye.
Bye.